Hey, it's Tim here again. I think one of the most powerful yet underutilized tools in you and I's toolkit is something called a board report. One of the boards I sit on is for a marketing company, and the CEO is preparing his board report, and he kept asking himself the question that I encourage entrepreneurs to ask all the time, which is, how do I know? In his industry, everyone agreed that the costs of online advertising were just going up and up and up and up. And that's why the industry was seeing profit margins come down and down and down and down. He started writing his board report and asked the Tim Francis question of, how do I know? And he started digging into his data, and it turned out that in his business specifically, online ad costs had remained perfectly stable. So it actually wasn't his online ads that were causing the decline in profitability. As he dug into it more and more, he realized that it was actually that his website wasn't loading properly. So it was the website that was broken, not the online ads. Had he not written the board report and therefore not asked the question, how do I know? He might have had a broken website, and yet he might have tried to fix something that was working perfectly. He would have gone the wrong direction altogether and may have even further suffered losses. A board report allows us to sit down and crystallize our thinking. There's a reason that big businesses all have board reports written for their boards, and people like Warren Buffett write an annual shareholder letter. Yes, it's to update our shareholders and potential board members, but it's also there to help us crystallize our thinking. I'm sure you've had the experience before of coming to an agreement with someone. Then when you go to write down what it is that you've both agreed on, you discover very quickly that actually we're not exactly on the same page. Only by writing things down do we get 100% clarity. So a great board report is going to include some typical elements, and yours might be a little bit different, but here's some good guidelines. First of all, your board report must include financial information. If it doesn't include financial information, there's no way that your board members can ever help you see the path to generating and keeping more cash. Even if you don't have a board and it's just you writing your board report for yourself, reviewing those financials is absolutely crucial. Secondly, include an org chart describing the layout of your business, who's responsible for what, so that we can tell where there might be gaps. Thirdly, I encourage you to include a section, I call it My Profit Factory, and that's where we break down the business into all the different engine rooms. So there might be an engine room for marketing, an engine room for sales, and on and on. In each one of those engine rooms, there's a different engine. Inside of the client experience engine room, there might be an engine called onboarding new clients. Underneath all of that, we need an engineer or a team member who's assigned to each of the engine rooms so we know who to go to if there are any issues. Lastly, we also need dials on each of these engine rooms so we can figure out, are we ahead of path? Are we behind? How are we doing in the different parts of the business? Perhaps most important of all is we also need to know, what is it that you're seeing in the business? When we can get clarity of where we've been, where we are today, where we're going, and the path of how you think the company can get there, now we've got you clarifying your thoughts and an opportunity for your board members and advisors to be able to give you feedback on your thinking and your planning. A great board report is so powerful to help us crystallize our thinking. There's a reason that every big business out there does a board report every quarter, and super investors like Warren Buffett, he does his letter to shareholders every single year. It's because it just works. So whether you've got a board or not, whether you've ever done a board report or not, I encourage you at your earliest convenience, get busy writing one. You'll be amazed what you discover about yourself and your business, and you can ensure that you're on the right path to growing this thing. Thank you so much.